Hello out there in YouTube land. Look at the swamp here. We had a big rainstorm last night. Been having rainstorms just about every evening. We got almost a half-inch last night. Well, I'm still working on this #1 sawmill. About ready to give up on it, to be honest with you. I'm actually getting pretty tired of it. Getting frustrating. Like I said, one of the reasons it's not going, because every time I take a step forward, I take 2 steps back. What we're trying to do, this is a set shaft here, and the other set shaft I pulled out. They're 2 15-foot set shafts. All the beds and L's, except for the number one is out. What I was trying to do is align all these, I don't know what they call them, set shaft holders, bearings, I don't know what you'd call them. It'd be, I guess you could call them some kind of a bearing. But there's 8 of them on here. I think I run 7. The shaft is 2-inch shaft, and just about kill you taking it out. I have tried to measure it, because what these have to do, where'd it go? What these have to do is when the shaft goes through all these, see how there's a makeup shaft, and here's another makeup shaft here, and all sorts of measuring stuff. You can see I have it turned off right now. It has to be, they have to be in the same spot. In other words, this one here and this one here has to be in the same spot. This is a fixed position. The only way you can make it come up is you'd have to raise this up and put shims under here and raise it up a bit. And Frick didn't leave you the ability to do that, but when we put this together and rebuild it, we put slots in here so it can move up and down a little bit. So that's good. But then you have another situation where the height of this, you have these gears that are underneath in here. You can see here's the rack. Well, the pinion gear is in here and goes into that rack. Well, you got to have it so it's engaged to a certain amount inside that rack to make it work right. So, and the backlash in that is kind of important, but not important. I don't know. I'm probably being too overcritical of it. But when it goes forward, when you're pulling when you're pulling the set shaft here, or you're pulling the set works here, it turns the set shaft, which pushes that L in and out. Okay, the problem was that this thing wouldn't come back, and I thought it was because the shaft was being forced where it didn't want to go. So I'm trying to measure the distance between this and this to see if they're all the same height, because if this casting here is a wild casting, maybe, you know, this is 2 mills put together, so if you casted them all for year after year after year, and they might be 10 different years of different apart, and maybe your tooling has changed, or how you set it up was changed, and so it could be, I got to find a way to measure this. So I started out by I had a single shaft come up here, and I had a dial indicator on that. I don't know if that's around here someplace. I got more dial indicators and more measuring stuff here than a person should even want to have. So it was a fixed position between here and out here. But then the problem is where you're on the high part of this. So I decided that wouldn't work. Well, I made this thing here is 1.5 inch solid steel, so this would mount on it and magnet down real good and tight. Well, that isn't the problem. That isn't the case either. There's just a little bit of play in that, so when it's loose, it wobbles back and forth. So I don't know, there's just one problem after another. Like I said, you take 1 step forward and you got 2 steps backwards. So anyhow, I figured, well, I could get a good reading here, and I had 4 of these in here, or 3 of these in here, 1 in here, 1 in here, 1 on the inside there, and then a flat on the outside. But then when you got to a position where this was too far to get down and get a reading. That was a problem. So then I thought, well, this is round, so you got to have it come down to beyond the roundness. It's just one kind of headache after another. So I've been playing with this thing for 3 days, and I've got up with absolutely no conclusion on what the height this is. I can't get this number. I can take this whole thing off of here and put that on. Oh, another thing I did. So I drilled and tapped all these holes. Now there was a hole in all these to begin with. It's an oil hole. So I thought, well, I'll come down with a 1/4 inch tap and put in there. So then I came down, that was too small, and well, I'll get a 5/16, and this ended up being a 3/8 hole in there, and I didn't even have to drill it out. It was just the perfect size to. So I've screwed that down there. So this beds this down in the bottom here. So, but then this thing here, even though it's supposed to be flat back here, if there's a little nick here, that would set that off. So then I started coming up with. Here's another thing I came up with. Measuring it this way just to see if it was close. But if you have one high, then you couldn't measure the distance how high it was to know how much to move it. So that setup there didn't particularly work. I haven't taken it apart yet. So then I came down here, and like I said, you can see I got more stuff going on here than, I guess the old saying in Carter's got liver pills. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff out here just trying to get a stupid measurement, and I can't get it to measure twice. Here's a bunch of indicators in here. I've been trying, and there's another one back there. So then I come back and I'm trying to level this up. I figure, well, I'll level this up. So first I made sure that this was level, which it was pretty level. And then I started with a, I don't know, here I got my little baby machinist level. This is my what do you call it, baseline, and that's if you put it on here and you put it right in that spot. I don't know if you guys can see that bubble. I don't think you can. I can't see it in the screen anyway. That bubble is dead not on. Okay, so then I turn it around this way to make sure that the level is okay. And if you can see it again, you couldn't want it any closer than that. You couldn't get it any closer than that if you wanted. So then I figured, well, let me undo that. I will see, the reason I put that in there is because you got this, and I didn't want it to move. I wanted it to bed down in there. So then I cleaned the surface off in here to make sure there was no debris in there, and then I put this thing in here. I'm trying to come get a, you know, it's kind of hard to read in there, so I'd bring it out a little bit this way here, and it says, oh, the bubble is high on the other side. So then I bring it over here, and it says, oh, it's high on the other side. Well, that doesn't make any sense. It really does not make any sense to me. Okay, because that's saying it's high on that side. So then I'd bring it through here, and this is just one, but I'm finding goofy problems, and you can't see it now. It's saying it's high on that side. And so I said, well, that didn't work too good, so I'll put it back here and see what's going on. So then I decided to put this in here. Okay, now I have top left. I've put it in here every position. I kind of watch what I'm doing, then I get the camera off place. Screw this down so it can't be too goofy. I don't want to hammer it down tight. I just want it tight enough so it doesn't jiggle. So then I put the level on here, okay, and the bubble is going that way, okay. So then I turn this around here and put it on this way. Now what you can't see, now this time here, it's saying the bubble is that way also. It hadn't been doing that. Okay, now it's coming up to where the bubble is going that way. Turn it over this way. Now the bubble says it's going that way. So that tells me the shaft is bent. Okay, so then I undid it. You can see I got a little mark here. I got it as a top, and it says it's going that way and it's going that way. So that tells me the shaft is bent in my mind. So I figured if I turn it 180, okay, then I bring my little point back up, tighten it down. Okay, the bubble's going that way. Move it this way, and the bubble is going that way. Okay, if I turn this around, bubble's still going that way. Well, that's the best reading. I've been playing with this all day, and that's the best reading I've got being accurate. They've been going at each other the whole time. So that tells me the shaft's bent. Okay, so in that case, I can turn it 45 degrees. Oh, drop my wrench. Turn it 45 degrees, which is, I can't see my mark anymore. It's pretty close, pretty close. That means it should be level. Bubble's going that way. Bubble's right on. See, that doesn't make any difference. It should be going the same. It should be going the same way. But it's better than it was, so that means this little piece of shaft's bent. That means this is a shaft that I cut off, a 6-foot shaft for that one, and that one. There's 3 other pieces here. So it's kind of crazy. So now that I have this level, I'll bring that dial indicator down, and I can't get the same measurement from this side to this side. So I'm just getting frustrated with it, guys. I'm ready to blow this mill up. Every time you think you got something taken care of, and it is all I want to do. The bottom line is all I want to do is make sure I got a straight line through all these, through the set shaft and out. Then I'm dealing with sweat beads. You can't see them down here now. So there he is. I mean, you'll be down here for 2 or 3 minutes, or like 10 minutes, and they'll start coming in. There's another one now. Once they find one, they all seem to come in. Maybe they can hear their wings flying around something. I don't know. I'm sure they're communicating. But anyhow, I'm working on this thing, but I'm not making very much progress. And it's the first time I've been working on it for 3 days and quite a few hours each day. I've had to do some other things in between that I just haven't photographed. So anyhow, today is, well, I know it's Sunday, but I don't know what the date is. I'll look. I've been trying to put what date these are on here. Today is the 15th, Sunday, August 15th. I'll probably put this on tonight. Now, mind you, I forgot. This little shim here is 5/1000ths of an inch thick. Okay, that's enough to make that bubble in that machinist level go off. So when you put that 5/1000ths of shim, that sends the bubble all the way to the one side. So we're not talking like it's way out. But when I measure from this side to this side, it shows 1/8 of an inch out sometimes. So that's why I'm getting frustrated at it. I'll keep working at it. Now, I know there's a lot of machinists out there looking at saying, oh, all you got to do is this and all you got to do is that. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that could say how to measure it. Like I said, I started out with that thing down there, and that's a solid bar, and I thought that would give me a pretty good reading from time to time, from side to side, and then from shaft to shaft to shaft. But the readings are off by over, I would say almost 1/4 of an inch. So maybe these shafts are off by 1/4 of an inch. I don't know. But my problem is when I go back to read my original baseline one, I can't get the same reading twice. It's off by a considerable amount each time, which I can't understand. Then you also have to you have to run this in and out, so that has to be released. Okay, but then you got to measure the distance between here and here, so it's not only height-wise right, but it's in and out right, because one of those, they could cast it. So I don't know. I'm rambling on, I guess, because I don't know what I'm doing. The people that are going to, I know that everybody out there is trying to help me out, and when they leave me a comment, or you should try this, or you should try that, or you should try this, do me a favor. And I'm so frustrated now. I know you mean well, but don't leave me, oh, you got to do this, oh, you got to do that. I just not ready to hear that. A lot of people that leave me comments on the Sawmill stuff that mean well, I know you all mean well, but you've never been around a sawmill. Not that that's good or bad. Sometimes maybe a look from a different position is a good thing and you could try it. You know, I need somebody like the, you know, A-Bomb that knows what he's doing. Oh yeah, you just do this to do this. Or somebody, Keith Rucker, he does a lot of machining and he's real good, and he's messed around with sawmills, so if he saw this, he'd kind of say, well, this, I don't know. There's a Keith Venner up in, I think he's up in New England someplace. He's real good. You know, those are 3 different people that I watch a lot. And then there's other miscellaneous machinist guys that I watch a lot. And you got to set your baseline. Once you got your baseline, you might be able to go. But I haven't got a baseline yet. But some of the people that leave me interesting comments, and I read them all, but some of them are just so out there. The one that was out there, to give you an example, okay, see this shaft that goes through here? Okay, if you got a sawmill, you know what it is. Okay, it's main mandrel. You know, one guy left me a comment, and this is the greatest one. When you're sawing a shorter log, why don't you lower your blade? Okay, and that's a perfect example of somebody that has no clue of what a sawmill is, because you're not lowering this hole that I know of to saw a blade on a mill like this. Now maybe there's some mills out there that you can do that with. You can certainly do it on a little table saw, but this is far from being a table saw. So keep that in mind if you do leave me a thing. Kind of, I don't know. I'm just frustrated, so I'm not, I don't know what's going on. Anyhow, that's where we're at this mill. We're nowhere. It looks really bad right now, and I'm not really a fast worker. You know, I get down here and work after dark, or I can't work after dark because I don't have any electricity down here. And when I do put on the generator and work with the lights in, the bugs in the summertime are so bad. The wintertime it's cold. I'm a fair weather boy, so. And if you have another sawmill that's doing pretty good, you have a tendency not to play with this and that much. But anyhow, that's what's going on. This is just kind of a rambling on, and sorry about the rambling on. I guess this isn't one I'd even particularly say I would like. So, but you can kind of hear my frustration. So I'm still going at it. I haven't given up the ghost on this. So over and out now. If you like the movie, I don't know why you would, to be honest with you. But do me a favor and hit the like button. And if I don't know if you don't want to see any more of this stuff, so you ain't gonna hit the subscribe one on this one. So over and out for now. But do me a favor and at least hit the like button and speed through some of this. We'll see you now. Over and out. Bye.